Trekkies, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into Star Trek Prodigy Seasons 2 Episodes 15 and 16, Ascensions Part 1 and 2. These episodes are packed with intense action, deep character moments, and throwbacks to Star Trek classics. And believe me, there's a lot to unpack. Let's jump right in and see what Prodigy has been cooking up as we inch closer to the season finale. We kick things off with Dowell's log, where he's reflecting on how much he and the crew have grown since the voyage began. And while Dowell's narrating, we're treated to some absolutely gorgeous shots of both the Voyager and Protostar. It's a nice calm opening that highlights how far the Protostar crew has come, both individually and as a team. Of course, in true Star Trek fashion, the peaceful reflection doesn't last long. We're about to hit warp speed on some serious action.
Our journey left a few bumps, but when we had nothing else, we had each other.
Next up, we have the Nova Squad, reuniting for a training drill. And right away, we get a huge callback to the Next Generation. They're attempting the Boothby Supernova maneuver. Classic Star Trek fans will remember Boothby, of course, as the groundskeeper that mentored both Picard and Crusher. And this time, it's all happening in the holodeck. But the training drill feels like a direct callback to the Culvert Starburst maneuver, which you'll remember from the first duty. It's a nod to Next Generation fans that blends nostalgia with the new. But you know, there's always more to come. Meanwhile, we get a major character moment with Zero. The Doctor gives them some important news, good and bad, about their current body and the prospects for Zero's new body. This leads to a huge decision from Zero about who will oversee the project. It's a really touching moment that emphasizes how much Zero has grown, and the weight of their decision is felt. Growth and change are at the core of Prodigy, and this decision for Zero is just one of many key choices that drives these episodes forward. We then shift to Janeway and Chakotay having a heartfelt conversation about their last days on the original Voyager. It's a subtle, emotional moment between two veterans of Starfleet, showing how deeply they have been affected by their past missions. It's a real sense of closure and connection between them that longtime fans will appreciate. The two legends of Starfleet taking a moment to reflect. You can feel the calm before the inevitable storm coming. Enter Admiral Jellicoe, who shows up with some surprising news. Despite seeming genuinely pleased to welcome Chakotay back, he drops a bomb that Protostar's project is being reassigned to the Department of Temporal Investigations. Janeway? Well, she's being sent back to a desk, and the Protostar crew is getting broken up, and all of the cadets are going to be set for reevaluation. You can just feel the shock rippling through the crew. Jellicoe's just doing his duty, but it's clear he enjoys it just a bit too much. The crew's future is suddenly thrown into uncertainty, but this is Prodigy, and no one is just going to sit back and just let that happen. Ilthion reaches out to Gwen. Then, out of nowhere, Ascension bursts onto the main viewer. The visual effects here are on point, reminding me a bit of J.J. Abrams' Star Trek films with all of the intensity. Ascension locks Voyager to an energy drain beam and begins firing at the Protostar. It's one of those moments where you just know things are about to get messy. And just like that, the stakes skyrocket. No one is safe, and it's all hands on deck for this battle. As the chaos unfolds, Chakotay and the Protostar crew rush to the transporter room, hoping to take control of their ship. Meanwhile, Nova Squad is prepping to assist Commander Tysus in defending Voyager. But an explosion knocks out Grom, and Dal suddenly finds himself stepping up as the third Nova Squad pilot. It's a big moment for Dal, and you can see him growing into a leadership role. Dal's stepping up in a huge way, and he's got the weight of the mission on his shoulders, and there is no room for error. And here's a fun detail. The Nova Flyers are based on an updated design by none other than Tom Paris. Voyager can't get a lock on the energy-draining weapon, so it's up to the Flyers to pinpoint the coordinates. Of course, Ascensia's drones are ready to put up a fight, but Dal pulls a move right out of the Star Trek playbook and goes totally off script. It's risky, but in true Dal fashion, it's genius. This scene is a perfect example of why Dal is becoming a leader. Sometimes it takes a wild idea to save the day, and Dal isn't afraid to get creative. Then we get the twist. Ascensia has captured none other than Wesley Crusher. I didn't see that coming. She's using some intense methods to extract future visions from Wesley, which ups the stakes dramatically. Poor Wesley, dude can't catch a break even in the far future. This reveal is a game changer. Wesley's involvement adds a whole new layer to Ascensia's plot, and now we're dealing with time travel level complications. Ascensia isn't done yet. She unleashes a weapon called the Incursor at Voyager and traps the Protostar in the energy drain beam. Shuttle Bay 3 on Voyager takes a hit, and Commander Tysus rushes in to investigate. But things get wild when the Incursor releases a chronometric wave that rapidly ages Tysus. Time bubbles? Chronometric weapons? This is what we love about Star Trek. The tech always keeps you guessing. Chronometric waves and time bubbles. Classic Trek chaos. It's setting up a ticking clock for our crew to figure this out. Zero decides to take a massive risk and heads into Shuttle Bay 3 to deal with the Incursor, while Dal suggests going totally rogue with their battle tactics. Everything's going wackadoo, as Dal puts it. In the meantime, Majel steps up, volunteering her Nova Flyer to pull off a both-be supernova maneuver to redirect the Incursor. The team pulls it off, destroying Ascensia's ship, but at a cost. It's a heart-pounding final battle. With everything on the line, the crew pushes themselves beyond the limits, and the payoff is epic. Once the dust settles, the Protostar crew and Nova Squad reunite. The big reveal? Zero shows up with their new body, an upgraded version of their original design. It's a sweet moment and shows how far Zero has come in terms of self-identity and acceptance. The team's back together, stronger than ever, but you know, this is just the beginning of their next adventure. So, where does Prodigy go from here? Ascension's Part 1 and 2 delivered on every front. Nostalgia, high stakes, and emotional growth for characters that we've grown to love. The addition of Wesley Crusher at this stage of the conflict with Ascensia sets the stage for an even bigger challenge ahead. If these episodes are any indication, we're in for a wild ride as the season continues. If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to like the video, subscribe for more Trek content, and hit that bell so you don't miss a thing. Let me know in the comments what your favorite moments were, and what you think is next for the Protostar crew. Until next time, live long and prosper, my friends.